Hello YouTube, Tech Shaman here, and today's video is going to be about making the flower of life in GIMP. Now, there is software available that makes creating these geometric shapes much simpler, but it's expensive, and I'm a big fan of free software, so I'm going to use GIMP or the GNU image manipulation program to create the flower of life. This is going to be part of a playlist I'm creating called Dominating GIMP. Now, GIMP recently has introduced a new tool called Symmetry Painting, which makes this very simple to do. I don't know which version they introduced it in, so I would just recommend updating to the latest version of GIMP to follow this tutorial. First, I'm going to begin by creating a new image. I'm going to make mine 1600 by 1600 pixels, but you can scale this to meet your needs. I am going to create a new layer just in case I want to further manipulate my flower of life image. The first step is that I am going to open up the Symmetry Painting window, which I closed so that I could show you how to get to it. You have to go to Windows, Dockable Dialogues, Symmetry Painting, and I will show you how to configure that in a moment. First, we are going to add some guides to the image to make it easier to find the center of our circle, and that is in Image, Guides. We're going to go to New Guide by percent. We need a horizontal and a vertical. So Image, Guides, Vertical. And now we can see that the guides cross in the center of our image. The first tool that I'm going to be using is the Ellipse Select tool. And the settings that you're going to need to have to create a circle are expand from center, fixed aspect ratio 1:1. What I'm going to do is go to the center of the image, which we can use the guide, and we can also use this down here, which will tell us which pixels our pointer is pointing at. My circle is going to be 200 by 200 pixels, which is displayed in the dialog on the left hand side right here. Alright, now we have a circle selected. In order to actually draw that circle, I'm going to use the stroke selection tool, which is in Edit, Stroke Selection. And for this tutorial, I am going to check this box, stroke with a paint tool, and I'm going to use the pencil. You may be familiar with this tool, and you may have used stroke line in the past. In a moment, I'll explain why I am using the pencil tool. The settings that will be used are whatever you have set for the tool over here. So I have the tool, pencil tool selected. I'm going to set it to 3 pixels. These other settings are fine. And I am going to click stroke. That creates the first circle. Now, to create the second circle, we could either draw another circle with the circle select tool that's 200 pixels, or I found that it's a lot easier to grab the tool and we can actually move this selection that we already created by dragging it, and there's a little cross in the center. Now what we want to do is move it to the point where our vertical guide intersects the first circle right here. For this step, what I want to do is create 6 circles an equal distance around the center of our first circle, all the same size as the first circle. To make this simple, I'm going to use that symmetry drawing tool, and these are the settings. We want mandala, number of points 6, because we're going to be making 6 circles around the center. By default, the center is the actual center of the image. And that is all we need for those settings. Now I want to show you something a little bit interesting. Again, I am going to edit, stroke selection. If we do this stroke line tool, which you may be familiar with if you use GIMP, the symmetry painting mode does not work. I don't know why. Not sure why the developers implemented it that way, but that's how it is. The first time I tried this, I was very disappointed, but my intuition told me that perhaps if I use one of the drawing tools, that it would work. And in fact, it does. So, that's what you're going to do. One more time, go to Edit, Stroke Selection. Make sure you have a paint tool selected. You can use the paintbrush if you want. For this, I'm just using the pencil. Stroke. Now what we have is the seed of life in sacred geometry. We want to expand this out into the flower of life. Very simple to do with GIMP symmetry painting mode. Again, I could either draw a new circle or just drag the one that I already have into position. And what I want to do is drag it so the center aligns with where these two circles intersect. I'm going to leave it on mandala symmetry mode with 6 points of symmetry. And we only have to do 2 moves to create the flower of life. So again, I'm going to stroke the selection with the pencil tool. It gives us this. In order to get the other 6 circles for a total of 19 in the flower of life, all I have to do is move my selection again until the center lines up where these intersect. And I am going to do the same thing. Stroke selection, pencil tool. Now, to finish off the symbol, I'm just going to take that ellipse tool, center it, expand it out until it just barely touches the edge of those outer circles. Stroke selection, use the pencil tool, expand it out slightly again to put a double border. And there we have it. As part of this video, I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about what the flower of life is. Just for a little background on myself, I tend to lean towards a materialistic view of the universe. So I have an aversion to New Age spirituality and things like that. But what the flower of life is a geometric symbol that has been found in many cultures throughout time. And a lot of people think that it's important to the creation of life itself. It represents the interconnectedness of life and creation. To me, I believe that it has something to do with something that is deep in the collective unconscious. And when I look at it, I get a feeling as if I'm recognizing something that I once knew, but I've forgotten, and I'm being reminded of it. And what I like to do is just meditate on the symbol. I just look at it, I clear my mind, and just allow myself to look at it, and whatever thoughts arise, just arise. It's very interesting, so I just recommend that you do it, because I can't describe exactly how it is. But while you're looking at it, you'll see all sorts of different shapes and geometric figures appearing in your mind. Now, because my background is materialistic worldview, I didn't want to only give my opinion. And I have a friend who really has his thumb on the pulse of the universe. So I asked him if he could make a short clip explaining what the flower of life means to him. So without further ado, I present to you my friend Buckshot.
Hi, this here's Buckshot, and I hear there's some shit about a flower of life. Let me tell you, I know all about kinds of flowers. All the kind you eat, all the way down to the kind you smoke. I'll tell you what, I think the kind you smoke's the flower of life, if you're asking me. But hey, what the fuck do I know?
Okay, that about wraps it up. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, please like and subscribe.